Namaste doston. So to foster our word power, to increase our vocabulary, to have that proper grip in English, to bring that in fluency while you're communicating in English, there are four essential steps we need to keep in our mind that we can't afford not to use them every day. We need to make sure that they become our religion. They become in our DNA part. How would they become and what all are those? We will list them. So the first point or first step which we will be talking about is surround or immerse yourself. Now second point is recognize. The third point is to feel or understand, and the fourth one is use. These are the only 4 points you need to practice along with the 6 essential habits which we already spoke about in our last video. If you have not watched that yet, don't forget to go back to my YouTube channel wherein you can find that. So now let us talk about how these points works in our life. So the first point is immerse or surround yourself. So immerse and surrounding yourself. Before we explain it, how do we use this? Let us take one example in Hindi. Suppose अगर किसी को तैरना सीखना है तो जब तक आप पानी में पूरी तरह उतरेंगे नहीं, पानी को फील नहीं करेंगे, अपने हाथ पांव चलाना शुरू नहीं करेंगे और प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू नहीं करेंगे, आप तैरना नहीं सीख पाएंगे. खाली किनारे बैठ के लोगों को तैरते देख के हम तैरना नहीं सीख पाएंगे. Let us talk about now what our this first point talk about, that immerse or immersion or surround yourself with what? That is English. How that applies, what we need to do, the activities we need to install are that start listening to music, that too in English. For podcast, that too in English again. Reading books, watching English movies. If you have issue only in English movie, then watch English movies along with the subtitles. And TED Talks. And so on. What happens with this? Now you may say that, I understand that. Whatever somebody is saying, that movie in that TED Talk or maybe in podcast, maybe 70-80% I understand. But the moment I need to talk, I don't know what to say. And even if I know what to say, the right word doesn't come and falls in place. For that, you need to have a good word power. You need to have a lot of word actually stored in your bank. So how does that happen? So first you need to install these habits as a religion. जैसे कि हम रोज़ सांस लेना, खाना खाना, प्रे करना और XYZ थिंग्स करना नहीं भूलते हैं, हमने इन पॉइंट्स को भी यूज़ करना नहीं भूलना है. Otherwise we will be where we are at the moment and people will be running away from you. That's what I want to practice at first point. Immerse yourself or to surround yourself with English. That's it with the first point. Second point is recognize or recognition. Now what I mean by that, in the first point, when you are listening to these many different elements, maybe music, movie, video, podcast or so, जब आप सुन रहे हैं, there will be words जो आप सुन रहे होंगे, जो बार बार आ रहे होंगे, and you don't know the meaning of it. So what you need to do, as the word suggest, recognize. तो आपने क्या करना है, जो जो word आपको समझ नहीं आ रहे हैं, start writing them. That's what you need to do. But you need to make sure also that you don't need all the words as well. Because if you start reading and if you start listening to music and then to news channels, then to TED Talks or so, you see, the moment you see the words, the pattern in the moment people are writing and they're talking, they are not similar or possibly 100% same as you see while people are having verbalizing skills have been explored to the world, or they actually been writing. So there is a difference. But what I'm trying to say here is that there are words जो आप again and again you getting them, it is coming to your notice that this is the word which is getting repeated and I need this. So you write down those words and start listing them next to the meaning of it. how actually you need to do that also as well, there is a process for it, which we will talk about in our next point. So the second point which we are, let's do a recap for it, is only recognition. You just need to find out to recognize the words which are being used again and again, and you think that that can help you also, and you also want to use it. So start listing them down. Recognizing these words, it could be like if you're listening to something and there is a word calling reverberation, or possibly there is a word called branch, or possibly there is a word called twig. They're coming again and again. Start writing them. Okay, that's what you need to do in recognition. Recognition from where? The podcast, the music, the songs, the movies, the books, the newspaper, the magazines, you're getting it from. That's what you need to do. Point number 3, you need to start feeling them and to start understanding them. Now, once in point number 1, when you were saying you surrounded yourself with these many things wherein only English was involved in, the second point was there wherein you was recognizing or pointing out or underlining those words and writing those or listing down the words that this is the word which is repeatedly coming in and I don't know the meaning of it, I really want it. So what you need to do to bring those after second point to that word to point number 3, that you need to start understanding and feeling it. Now, how will you feel it? Let us, if something is called warm, so only you cannot explain it that what warm feels like until unless you have touched something which feels like. That's what I'm just giving you a blunt example. So you need to feel and understand that word. But how will that happen? Even not only by touching you feel the words. Even if I tell you some particular word, let us say rosemary. Now, rosemary you won't even understand only by touching. So you need to see that as well. So this is what we are trying to understand here, that what do we mean by understand or feel. So what you need to do here in point number 3, whatever the point you have noted, you need to find out meaning of it. But I want to request you that don't use dictionary this time. If you're watching this video and that too at YouTube or maybe on Facebook, so you have that smartphone and that Android upgraded phone which has a facility that is called Google, which is a very fantastic and great search engine. So you need to search that word here, but now we need to learn how to also search word in right. So what I mean by this right way is, the moment you go at Google, there is a right pattern that how you need to search the word. So what you do, you will not write words straight away. So what you need to do is, first you will write define and then the word. So define twig, define branch, define reverberation, define afflictions, define maintenance, etc. What happens the moment you search your words like this in Google search engine, it will give you the word meaning and the pictures and the uses and the sentences of it, and this is how you will understand those words, that where and where this word can fit really well. That's what we need to understand in point number 3 to have this point clear, understand or to feel. So now, once you have listened to the different elements I've asked you to practice, and then you have recognized the word, and then you have searched for them also. Now what you need to do in point number 4, use the words. Now when I say use the word, now you need to start using those words in sentences. So don't leave it after only using 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 5 sentences. Use them at least 20 times, or maybe as many times as you feel like, till the time they are not being actually ingrained in your mind or in your heart, or it's not in your DNA, that now you don't have to remember this word, you understand it for rest of your life. But this only will happen once you start using them in different situations, in different places, but you need to practice for it. Now then there will be people that I am practicing. I'm sorry people, if you are practicing, the practice of yours may have some different meaning than what I am suggesting is. So only suggesting this practice, and if you think this will work and telling people that you practicing will work, don't try to fool anyone else. You trying to befool yourself. So what I am suggesting is only practice will not help. You need to practice effectively. So it has been said that it is only practice which makes you perfect, but then that practice also need to be done in that qualitative way that it pays you, and you will not leave it until unless you become that comfortable. And that comfortableness might can take lifetime, but in that time you be improving yourself like a pro in this language which is called English. And trust me people, it's not that big that we cannot do that. You can do everything what you want, but you need to be determined for it. So I will conclude my session with this only, but would like to request and to thank you all the people who already have subscribed to my channel. Thank you for your encouragement. But if you are first timer at my YouTube channel, don't forget to like and to press that bell icon from which you can be getting all the notification, because there will be a lot of videos which will not be available only at Facebook. So I would look forward to meet you at my channel, and if there is any suggestion or feedback you people have, please feel free to feed me with your feedback so I can improve myself and can come with great content which will be helpful to you all. Thank you so much.